All right, Jack, thanks for joining me for another episode of All Around. I'm joined by Binghamton's associate head coach, Brian Johnson. Brian, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Cardell, man, I appreciate it. Happy to be here and super excited.
Yes, sir. We're going to get right to it. I know y'all pressed for time. It's that time of year. So, just the American East has a nice influx of DMV talent, throughout the conference with players and coaches. As a local product yourself, talk about how proud you are to see this be the case.
I'm proud and super excited. When you think of the DMV, obviously there's talent that can play at multiple levels, and to have the guys that from the DMV in the American East, I think it makes our conference very competitive. I think it makes our recruiting strategy and styles very different. I think when you think about the type of schools that Binghamton versus another school. Like for us, we got to make sure that we get the right student athlete, and we've been able to do that, and attract those students to Binghamton. And I think other schools as well have been able to attract the right student athletes to their institution. And I think it's been great to see the talent come into the American East, and I'm like super excited to see how competitive this year is going to be across the board.
I mean, as you know, every program is different based on the coaching philosophy of their respective staff and head coach. Uh, how pivotal is it to not just recruit a talented player, but recruit the player that best fits what you guys are trying to set and accomplish throughout the year?
For sure. I think, when you speak to our head coach, Lavelle Sanders, we always speak about, recruiting the right person that's going to fit into our system, but also the right person that's going to be successful, whether it's socially, academically, as well as athletically. We got to make sure that we find the right guy that can fit into, what we're trying to do here, obviously on the basketball court, but more importantly, off the court, and making sure that they understand you got to get a great education. You're gonna get a degree that holds weight, and to make sure and that just doesn't from the DMV. That's any kid that we recruit, right? Like we got to make sure that they have the right character, and that they come from their hearts in the right place and their minds in the right place, and also that they're competitive and want to win. One of the things that we always kind of share is that we recruit people, not just talent, and that doesn't mean that we're recruiting guys that aren't talented, but it just means that that they have to be a good person. They have to have character, and then from a talent standpoint, joining those two, I think they're going to have a great opportunity and a great fit here to be a part of head coach Lavelle Sanders' program.
All right, no doubt. You guys bring one of the best backcourts in the conference as well. It's one of the more underrated backcourts in all of college basketball. Local products, Jacob Falko and John McGriff. What leap are you expecting from them?
I think the leap that we all expect is in from all of our guys is just to be better leaders. I think both of those guys have great off seasons. You think of the other local products that we were able to recruit, Armon Harried from who went to Lake Clifton, Miles Gibson, who's also from Richmond, Virginia. We expect all those guys, just on our roster to really take advantage of the summer that they had, and they have. That's the thing about it, and I think the the two things that I think that our guys have done, Jake and as well as McGriff, man, I think they have become awesome leaders, and also I think have done a great job of just teaching our guys like what our culture and what our program is all about. And I think when you have that in your locker room, I think it's gonna help our offense be a little bit more efficient. It's going to help our defense communicate a little bit more. And it's going to have everybody on the same page. And no doubt about it, we're a work in progress. But I'm super excited to think that this year could be something special.
Okay, the thing about the America East Conference is, for most people, they may not know outside of the conference, they may not realize how big the conference is inside. It's not a small 6'3", like 6 foot to 6'5" conference. It's some trees in there you have to deal with. You know, specifically one, I don't want to butcher his name, 6'9" Ogunyoge Okawovo. Did I say it right? Did I get close?
Yeah, that's close. That's close.
All right, cool, cool.
We call him Savior. Savior
Savior.
Akawovo. Yeah, Savior
Okay,
Akawovo.
I'll be gonna roll
But
with
he.
Savior that much.
Oh
But
yeah. Oh yeah.
and you know, the 16 Eastern Kentucky transfer, they both bring reputations of, you know, rim protection. You know what I'm saying? Not allowing anything inside. Just touch on the impact that they're expected to have this season.
Well, you know, to even though the game is, you know, it's starting to become a little more small ball, but you still need size.
Yeah.
And by having size, you still need guys that can get you easy baskets. And you know, Xavier as well as Tariq. I mean, those guys are working extremely hard, and we're working extremely hard to get them the basketball as well. Because when the ball goes inside, then comes out, you know, we think something can we think something positive can really happen. You know, and then obviously if it's one on one in the post, you know, it gives them opportunity to play. And you know, we play with bigs. Bigs need touches every now and then. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you give them a touch every now and then you know, it starts to open up everything else. They're gonna block shots, they're gonna rebound, they're gonna communicate on defense, they're gonna tell you when a screen is coming now because you know they feel good about themselves, right? So, you know, to have those two guys and see them battle on the floor every single day, just making each other better. It's been great to watch and to coach, and as well as to teach them how we want to play and be better. You know, whether it's ball screens or block to block, things of those natures where they have to be really good at it. Yeah, we've seen the progression of those two in a way that we believe that they can be real good pieces to the puzzle.
Former, you mentioned him already, but former Lake Clifton stand Armon Harried, someone I feel can be an X factor for y'all this season. Due to scoring, rebounding, you know, versatility defensively, and his experience. You know, talk about what he's brought so far, and what are you looking for most from him this upcoming season?
Natural leader. And that's the one thing I'm saying about him. Natural leader, you know, and that might come from, you know, his background. His mom, his dad played. Coach Tree obviously is a coaching legend at Lake Clifton,
So,
and you know, for him, I think he came to a situation where he wants to be a part of a program. He wants to win, you know, and I think the thing that I love about him is that he's a guy that's never going to give up. You know, you watch his film, and even when he got here, you just saw how intense and aggressive he is on both sides of the ball, right? And how he just wants to win every possession, every sprint. And it's really up, I'll be honest with you, it's really up the level of practice. Adding him as well as our new guys, it's up the level of practice and how, you know, it doesn't matter who we break up 5-on-5. We know it's a balance. It's a balanced team on both sides because you can't really pick. Okay, I got green today. Okay, I got black today. It's like okay, it's gonna be a dogfight today, you know. And I think whatever side he's on, you know the guys are going to play hard. They're going to communicate, and also you know with him just being here in a short period of time, you know, he holds guys accountable, you know, and I think that is he commands that respect from his teammates, and it's been a great sight to see. It really has.